If you get paid every 2 weeks, which is about 26 times a year, then this video is for you. There is a simple way to organize your money that biweekly paycheck earners have been using for years, myself included. If you are a firm hero who is pre-divorce, firm heroes are just the people in the firm approach community. You don't necessarily have to be in the firm approach community. But if you're pre-divorce and you're trying to figure out how you're going to pay for divorce because, divorces are expensive, then using this strategy, if you're a biweekly earner, can help you set aside funds to cover the cost of your divorce. If you are post-divorce, first, congratulations. But if you're post-divorce and it seems like money is funny and you're trying to figure out how to put more money in the bank, how you can invest in the market, how you can continue to invest in your retirement, then this is a strategy that you can use. And if you have never been married and divorce is nowhere on the radar and you're a biweekly earner, then there's still tips and tricks that you can use as well. I'm Nikki Tucker and I've been dead broke, kind of sort of broke, really, really broke, and then not so broke. I've been paid weekly, I've been paid bi-weekly, semi-monthly, and monthly. And honestly, I prefer to be paid bi-weekly. I'm an exhausted mom, a certified divorce financial analyst, a 20+ year financial professional, and the founder of the Firm Approach, as well as a primary breadwinner. Why does all that matter? It just means that I have really big bills. And I can tell you from personal experience, being savvy enough to situate your budget, if you're a biweekly earner, is an underutilized tool that many people need to know about. And that's why we're here today. The secret to saving more money isn't always about having a bigger paycheck, contrary to popular belief. Stay with me for a second. Sometimes it is. Sometimes there is a legitimate income problem and you just need to earn more money. Other times there's an expense problem and you are just going to outspend your paycheck regardless of how much money you make. And other times it's about problematic habits or just not taking advantage of strategies that you need to know about in order to help you reach your money goals that much faster. Regardless of your problem, it is never too late to get on track. It's never too late to increase your savings, to increase your credit score, all the things that you have on your list to improve the way that you manage your finances. As a financial professional, even though I am not your financial professional, I don't feel like I need to say this, but just in case I need to say this, you watching this video doesn't mean that I'm giving you direct advice. We don't have a client-advisor relationship and it is for educational purposes only. Boom. Okay, that part is done. But as a financial professional, it is important that if you are a biweekly earner, that you take advantage of the opportunity that you are presented with. So I mentioned that you get 26 checks in a year. That means that in 2 months out of the year, you will receive 3 paychecks. And those 3 paychecks will actually be bigger than your normal paychecks because typically your standard deductions are not being taken out of the checks. Now, I'm ignoring leap years intentionally, okay? So I just want to make sure that you know that I know that you might even receive more than 26 checks in a leap year. What's important for you to know is when you'll actually receive those 2 checks, those 2 extra paychecks. So what months will they fall? If your HR department, your payroll provider, or your company doesn't provide you with an annual payroll schedule, no problem. Here's what you're gonna do. You are going to go to the internet and do a quick search for payroll schedule or payroll calendar, and then put the year behind it. So it'll be payroll schedule for 2025. And you'll find a lot of free templates or PDFs online. You click on one of them and you should be able to see a full year of a schedule for pay dates and how they may fall. So depending on when you get paid, again, you're a biweekly earner, most people get paid on Fridays, but it could be Wednesdays for all I know. You get to figure out when you're going to receive those extra checks. So for example, if you are getting paid on Friday, your extra check may fall in January, or it could be May, or it could be August or October. I don't know. It's up to you to figure it out. However, this is the first step. You cannot skip this step. Why? Because you need to make a plan for your money. This is the baseline of budgeting and you cannot skip it. And if you hate the word budget, I understand. Let's call it a spending plan. You can call it whatever you want. The intention is to make a plan for your money. And by doing this, you can maximize the opportunity that you have in order to save more, pay down more debt, put more in your retirement account, go on a fantastic trip, whatever it might be. Having these extra paychecks presents you with an opportunity. And so it's up to you to maximize the opportunity. So the first step is to figure out when they are coming to your beautiful bank account. Once you've done that, now you need to do a few other things. Before we get into what makes the extra paycheck so magical, I'd be remiss if I did not mention to you that you have an amazing opportunity to grab the latest edition of our Ultimate Financial Resource Guide. This resource guide is a curated list of modern resources and tools and apps that can help you reach your financial goals. It can be frustrating, it can be exhausting to try to figure out which tools should you use, which have pretty good reviews, what makes sense based on what's going on in your life. So we've put together this resource for you to take out some of that work and hopefully support you on your journey to improving your financial life. So grab the free Ultimate Financial Resource Guide today. Okay, back to the magic paycheck. So when you read stories or hear about stories of people that have been able to pay down massive amounts of debt, 5 figures, 6 figures of debt. They are not doing this overnight. They're not waking up one day and saying, I think I'd like to pay out $50,000 in debt tomorrow. Sorry, it doesn't really happen that way. What typically happens is that they are making small, incremental, but intentional steps on a regular basis in order to reach their goal. And so what's magical or powerful about the extra paycheck that you're receiving is that you can do the same thing. Imagine having the opportunity to use 70 to 75 to 85 to 100% of the extra paycheck for whatever you like to use it for. And I'm not saying blow the thing. I'm talking about using it towards your financial goals. Now, that could be paying down debt. That could be making an extra car payment. Or it could be setting aside money for your child's college fund. Again, it could be funding the future divorce that you plan to have or an amazing trip. You get to decide what you want to use it for. I just want to make sure that you have the opportunity to maximize its use. So in order to do that, now that you know when the money is coming, you need to set up your budget as if you only get paid twice a month versus every other week, which means that your budget will be framed in a way that says you get paid 24 times a year versus 26 times a year. Doing this will allow you to have more control over your expenses, be able to track your income and your expenses pretty easily, and again, take advantage of that extra paycheck. So one of the simple things that you can do, step 1, is to set up the budget so that you are paying all of your bills twice a month. Usually people do this where it's set up for the 15th and then the end of the month. So maybe the 31st or the 30th or 28th, but you get my drift. You're setting up your budget in a way that all of your bills are only paid twice a month. So not every time you get paid, inclusive of the extra paycheck time, but just twice a month. That means that you might have to tweak the due dates of some of your bills depending on how they fall. You can easily call your creditor, your service providers. Most of them are going to be very flexible in allowing you to do that. Or it means that you'll just pay bills early. What it does not mean is that you will not be paying bills late, okay? So if a bill is due on the 12th, you are not paying it on the 15th. You are paying it on the 30th because it's due on the 12th. Again, if you can shift the due date so that it is due on the 15th or the 16th because it balances out your cash flow, then you always have the opportunity to do that. But I want you to keep in mind, you pay bills the 15th and the 30th, regardless of when you get paid. Early, never late. Let's move on to the next one. It's possible that you may have to tap into your reserve. So as far as tip number 3 or step number 3, in order to get this thing going, you might have to tap into some of the money in your savings account just to set up things initially, depending on how your bills fall and when they might be due or when you last paid them. So if you don't have a cushion in your savings account that allows you to tap into it, then you can just wait until you receive your first extra paycheck. For example, If you typically get paid on Fridays, it's very possible that your first extra paycheck will happen in January, and you can take advantage of this strategy right away. If that's not the case, we're just going to wait a little bit, but you can still be prepared by setting up the budget and the strategy so that you're ready to execute. And that's the final step. The final step is, now that you have the plan in place, you are executing on this every single month, and you are setting up a plan for the paychecks now that you know when they are coming. You're deciding how they will be used. And that doesn't mean that the plan can't change. So I don't want you to think about this as something that's constraining you and doesn't allow you to have flexibility in how you use the funds, but you want to be strategic in how you use the funds. I also want to call out that doing this will not change your monthly budget or the expenses that you have. So if it normally costs you $2,500 a month in bills and expenses to run your household, that number will not change just because you're changing the due date of your bills, or it should not. So just be mindful of the fact that this magic trick is an opportunity for you to save more, an opportunity for you to do more, but not an opportunity for you to necessarily reduce your expenses right away. Now, if you're paying down debt, then quite naturally your expenses will go down, but it won't change the fixed amount of your bills. For example, your mortgage or your car payments or some of your utility bills that you'll just always have to pay. You have a great opportunity here to take advantage of the strategy as a biweekly earner, build up your emergency fund, do the things that you want to do. And again, I am welcoming you to grab the Ultimate Financial Resource Guide, leverage the tools that are included in there to help you on your financial journey. And in addition to that, you are also welcome to join the Firm Hero community. Again, as someone who helps pre and post divorce women unapologetically protect their financial security, I invite you to join us in the Firm Hero community so you can get tips and information just like this. I also welcome you to take a look at the blog post that covers this very topic. It goes over all the things that I talked about, in addition to how you can set up your bank account in order to maximize this strategy and the opportunities with this strategy. And in addition to that, other things that you can take advantage of, like automation, as well as establishing your emergency fund. I wish you patience and progress on your financial journey. Take care.